What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to be taking a little bit of a look at the last anomaly. I told you when I did a video recently that there was still one anomaly that is going to be coming out in Worlds Collide that we hadn't yet spotted. Well, shout out to Steve R. Anderson over on the main Facebook group, who has gone and found a picture of it and gone and shared it with us, which I think qualifies him as a lovely man. So thank you very much, Steve. Now, this might look a little bit familiar, because this is another one of those cards where the artwork has previously been used in one of those articles that FFG went and published. So, not necessarily brand new artwork, and as you can see on the screen here, it is, well, we can see quite a lot more, to be honest with you. It's a lot more, well, rounded out. It's just a lot fuller. It is actually going to be the mat that you get for winning a Prime Championship. So, you know, head on over to them. If anyone's wondering, I am going to be entering a couple of Primes. Definitely the one in Bristol. Definitely the one in Cardiff. And fingers crossed, hopefully the one in Southampton. More on that shortly. So, what do we actually have here? We have Nizak the Forgotten, a 6-power, 0-armor creature. And now maybe this is going to lead us to a Dragon House, maybe it isn't. We'll have that discussion at the end of the video. But it reads, while fighting, Nizak the Forgotten gains Invulnerable. This is a new keyword skill we have seen in one of the other of the anomalies, which is that it cannot be destroyed or dealt damage. After an enemy creature is destroyed fighting Nizak the Forgotten, return that creature to its owner's hand. Now, one thing that I find very interesting here, it is while fighting, not while attacking. And it's not a fight skill, it is a permanent skill. So to me, that reads as if this skill works whether you're attacking, whether you're defending. This looks to be a permanent skill, something that is just going to be sitting out there regardless, which I think is a good thing. Seems like it to me, ladies and gentlemen. Seems like it to me. Now, there is something else going on here. 6 power is alright. It's not phenomenal, it's not terrible, it's fine. Although the fact you are going to survive the fight, yeah, you're going to be fine. That's nice. But you need to do something with this. It's not enough just to have the decent power. So you fight, and you'll get a bunch of KOs here. You'll destroy a bunch of stuff. But if I'm honest with you, you're not going to get everything. There's quite a lot here you won't get. But you bounce it to its owner's hand when you destroy it. And I'm not sure how I feel about this. It basically turns every creature, and I'm not the only one that's made this point incidentally, but it basically turns every creature into a bad penny. Bad penny is one. I actually did a video about bad penny. I'll drop a link to that one in the description. But when it's destroyed, it goes back to your hand, and this can be really good. So let's say, for argument's sake, you've got a hunting witch out. Every time you play a creature, you gain an amber. Well, that's quite nice. So this would be a good way to, you know, get a whole bunch of amber, having all these creatures bouncing back to your hand. Then, of course, we've got stuff like, I mean, Dust Pixie's a lovely example here, because you get 2 amber when you play it. Or maybe something like Helperbot. I like Helperbot. Helperbot has a phenomenal play skill, whereby when you play it, you may play 1 non-logos card this turn. So now, you play it, your opponent destroys it, it goes back to your hand. You play it, your opponent destroys it, it goes back to your hand. And what I'm saying here is, you have got to be extremely careful as to what you destroy using Nizak the Forgotten. Because if you destroy the wrong thing, and by that I mean your opponent, is going to have, well, quite the big advantage, if I'm honest with you. Now look, clearly, having a 6-power invulnerable creature is great. I don't think anyone's arguing against that. What this allows you to do, and it's something that very, very few Keyforge creatures are actually able to do, 2-hit KO. Let's say, for argument's sake, you find yourself up against something like a Lollop the Titanic. It's an 11-power creature. So you hit it, you do 6, then you can hit it again. Now, Lollop is actually a terrible example, because Lollop does not deal damage to you when you attack it. So how about something like Keyforge Dragon? Now, Keyforge Dragon is a 12 power creature, so if you can hit it for 6 twice, yay, down it goes. Gigantic problem, gigantic dragon. Keyforge Dragon does 12 to you. Not ideal. Well, the great news is it doesn't do anything to you, so you can 2-hit. Now, Keyforge Dragon's actually a really interesting example here, because Keyforge Dragon cannot be played unless you have 7 amber or more at the time. Now, remember, if you've got 7 amber or more to begin your turn, you're probably forging a key. So then you've got to get 7 amber or more during your turn, in addition to any you've used to forge a key in order to actually play it. So Keyforge Dragon's a really fun one to bounce back to your opponent's hand, and then when they play it down, they might not be able to. And we've got some others that can actually give pretty big downsides when they get played. A card that I've got in one of my decks that I am very ambivalent about is Ancient Yerk. 6 power creature, but when you play it, you choose and discard 3 cards from your hand. Now, that deck, I'm actually lucky, unlucky, I'll let you be the judge of that, to have all 3 of the Yerks, regular, old, and ancient, all in the same deck. Thing is, Yerk, you discard 1 card from your hand, you're usually going to be able to. Now, if you've got no cards in hand, Ancient Yerk, you just play it down. But sometimes you're trying to keep cards in your hand. You know, you've got a big Shadows turn coming up, and you've got 4 Shadows cards in hand. Well, if you then play down Ancient Yerk, you've got to discard 3 of those Shadows cards, and you'll still draw till you've got 6 at the end of your turn, but you might end up in a fairly awkward situation. See where we're going with this? You can put your opponent in really awkward situations here. This is not a card which is flat out amazing, and I have said about some of the anomalies that frankly they are. I've done videos about all the anomalies now, I'll link them in the description. Nor am I saying it's a terrible card. I am saying that the 6 power, we like, we don't love. The invulnerable when fighting, we absolutely adore. The bouncing the creature you fight, or you destroy while fighting, to your opponent's hand, not loving it so much. Could be good, could be bad. Now, the last angle here, or at least the last one I want to mention in the video, it is after an enemy creature is destroyed fighting Nizak the Forgotten. So frankly, if I'm in a Logos turn, and I've got a Halperbot on the board, you better believe I'm throwing Halperbot into Nizak. And then Halperbot is going to get destroyed. It's up to me, I'm starting the fight. Nizak will do 6 damage to Halperbot. Halperbot does nothing, it doesn't matter. Nizak does 6 to Halperbot, bounces to my hand, and I can immediately use it to get the play skill. So it's not just, well, I just won't attack those creatures that have got the good play skills. You don't always have the choice. Your opponent can throw their creatures at you. So we do need to finish off quickly, having a quick mention, having a quick chat, having a gander. Does this mean we're getting a Dragon House? You see, we know that anomalies can be from future houses which haven't even made it into the game yet, coming in as anomalies early. Okay. Well, the cool thing about that is that it's potentially hinting at maybe in the future we'll get one of these. Now, some of these, like I say, I've been very vocal about the fact I do think they're hinting at houses. If we look at Valukanth, I believe strongly that that means we're getting a fish person house. When I look at the Red Baron, I believe fairly strongly that that means we are getting a pirate house. So why am I not so convinced about the Dragon House? And one of the reasons is a card that we've already seen so far. Well, we've already seen dragons. We've already seen Keyforge Dragon. And that was in Brobnar. So if Brobnar have a dragon, why can't Nizak be a disc dragon? Looks kind of like a disc creature, does it not? I would not be at all surprised if it turned out that this was just some dragon from an existing house that we get in the future. Doesn't mean that necessarily it is, but I am saying it would be somewhat foolish to discount the possibility. We might get a dragon house in the future. I'm not saying we're not, but I am saying that I don't think this is as clear-cut we're getting a dragon house as Valucant fears we're getting a fish person house. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's the last anomaly, but don't worry. I'm sure we're going to be able to have a little bit of a chat about plenty of other Worlds Collide stuff, and we're going to be rolling into it pretty gosh darn hard. But for now, I'd like you to tell me what you think about this particular card about Nizak the Forgotten. Go nuts in the comment section, but please do remember to be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, and follow me on Twitter at the Wossy, where we talk, well, games, Keyforge, and whatever else I fancy. And you can start a conversation too, that's alright. We'll talk about whatever you want. And do please go and check out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where we talk about, well, a whole bunch of stuff. There's a weekly bonus podcast, and you can support the channel. It's a lot of fun. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wossy Plays.